If an organization has multiple systems, such as GCC High, Active
Hmm.
Directory, CrowdStrike, EDR, Wallux, okay, kind of bragging a little bit here. All right, that
Sick
fall
brag.
within okay, humble brag. You got CrowdStrike, cool. That fall within the scope of a CMMC Level 2 assessment. Is it required to submit a single system security plan covering all systems or separate SSPs for each individual system? We currently have about 8 systems in scope and are in the process of creating 3 SSPs, each with its own POAM.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. Multiple SSP. This is kind of new. Um, and I mean, this question trips up organizations sort of during the mid assessment prep, right? The answer really at the end of the day requires understanding both of what's required and what C3PAOs actually expect, which a lot of times there's muddy waters in between those two viewpoints. But good news is NIST 800, 171, and CMMC don't mandate a single SSP. They require an SSP that describes your system, your environment, and how each control is actually implemented, right? The real question in this situation, I think, is how have you defined your assessment boundary, right? If all systems share one enclave, a single SSP is not only acceptable, but quite frankly, from the assessor or auditor's perspective, that's definitely preferred. It gives the C3PAO a kind of unified view of how all of your controls are implemented across your interconnected systems, right? Multiple SSPs can make sense, especially when you have genuinely separate system boundaries. For example, a classified enclave versus an unclassified CUI environment, right? So if GCC High, Active Directory, CrowdStrike, and your PAM solution, in this case, all serve the same CUI workflow, they belong in one SSP as documented components of your environment, right? From a C3PAO perspective, assessors want really one coherent picture. 3 separate SSPs for what is functionally one enclave can actually raise a ton of questions about whether you understand your own boundary, right? And we never want to put that in question. One thorough SSP beats 3 fragmented ones every single time. So consolidate where your boundary is unified. And as you're doing that, document each system as a component within that SSP and include clear network diagrams and control implementation statements as you're going through that process, right? And of course, do this in tandem with the documentation portion. Do that in tandem with defining your boundary, right? It's going to be way easier. You don't want to have to finish that process and then go back and then document everything. Do all that at the same time, and get that understanding of where you actually live in the CUI and CMMC level 2 realm.